practice goals. All right, what I did was I took our practice schedule, which you all are going to have. It's in your deal. And when you look at the schedules, I wanted you to be able to see. Is Donnie in here? I'll make sure, because I don't think this is on the PowerPoint, because I didn't get this finished until a couple of days ago. Is that I'll put this on Team Highway so you guys can copy it off on your jump drives. All right, warm-up. What's our goal in warm-ups? I want to go through the goals of it. Loosen our body up while perfecting fundamentals. That's the goal. Get our bodies loose while perfecting fundamentals. So we're going to do round-the-clock, handoff drills, ladder drills with the O-line, perfect throws. All right, noose an individual. What's the goals? Wide receivers and running backs, exaggerate everything. Exaggerate the look, exaggerate the stick, exaggerate the throw, exaggerate going straight up the field. Quarterback, what's he doing? He's exaggerating the look into the snap. He's making perfect drops, read progression. He's avoiding the rush, and he's making perfect throws. He's doing all that during noose drill. So that's the goal. Just a reminder to make sure that we get this stuff that I had on here, because I didn't have it on the thumb drive we put on Team Highway for them. Okay? So make sure that in noose and Indy you know what your goals are, what you're trying to get accomplished. During pat and go, what I want from receivers and running backs, perfect release, restack every time, exaggerate the look in, great ball security after the catch. Okay? Look the ball in high and tight. Quarterback, placement of the ball, make sure that we make the receiver lean outside, make sure we have hot feet, and that we have air on the football. Perfect routes, okay? Instead of routes on air, I will send you, we'll put it on our voiceover deal. I'm going to send you a way that I started coaching routes a little over halfway through the season. And I really liked it when we started getting a lot better. And we would do it in pre-practice, because you're going to notice at the end of the year, there was no ROA on the practice schedule. There was no time for routes on air. It was done in pre-practice. And all it says on there is throws. Okay? What we did was the running backs were doing individual routes, or they were doing individual drills, whatever Coach Ingram felt like they needed to do. And we had Y and Z and H and X. And so we would have two-man combinations, starting two quarterbacks throwing, and making sure the starting quarterback was always throwing to the guys who were going to play. So I might line up Z and X, and we're working on back shoulder press. All right, so we've got somebody out there in back shoulder press. So they're in press, we're throwing back shoulder throws. I'm making sure that if I've got the starting Z up, the backup X is going, because I want to see and I want to coach. Okay, so I'm watching this guy, somebody else is coaching that guy. Same thing, I got starting Y, backup H in, and I'm watching them on the deals. So we do all of our throw combinations, and we got really good in throwing the ball as the year went on when we started doing this. I liked it better than routes on air, because a lot of times in routes on air, what I end up doing is I end up not doing a very good job of coaching receivers, because I can't see them all. I can see one, but I can't see two, and I can't coach the guys I need to coach. So by doing this, we got a lot better at it, and I really like it. So when we're doing our routes, we've got, like I said, two on each side, and then I'll switch the Y and H's the next day to where they're working on the opposite side, so they get used to balls. Receivers doing footwork, timing, look-ins, finish, and then we make sure that we always do red zone work. If you're going to get good on goal line, back pylon throws, on corner routes, you got to throw them. So we always make sure that we do red zone work as well as doing out in the field work when we do these. Quarterbacks, drops, read progression, timing, repetitions, and experiment. We then have on your schedule, we have a tempo period in pre-practice. It's the last thing that we do before we go to our first special team circuit. When we do tempo, we start back on the 40-yard line and we go against air. I had a coach a long time ago tell me that, number one, you better be successful against air before you go to people. So we start the day off in team, we beat the shit out of air, okay? We go down and we block it perfect, we score it perfect, and we do that. Every now and then, we'll do tempo versus a scout team defense, because we want to make sure we get a certain look that we need extra work on, and so we'll do it then. So we're working on alignment. We're making sure we're snapping the ball within 12 seconds at the end of the last play. We're trying to be perfect, and we're also working on substitution. We're scoring in any new play that we've put in that we want to go against air to see as to how it looks against air before we do it against them. We then go to circuit. And you guys that didn't watch Coach Tomerdall's special team deal last year, y'all missed out on something really good. That guy's damn good. Okay, I mean, he is, from what I don't know shit about special teams. But I know our results are we win games because of our special teams. And I know that right now he's probably, if not the number one guy in the country, he's in the top 5. And everybody in college football recognizes that, okay? He did a 5-hour deal last year in Dallas. He's going to do a 5-hour deal this year that's totally different than what he did last year. So you need to make sure you spend time on doing that. One of the things we do is we do a 7 to 12-minute circuit every single day with special teams. When they're doing the circuit and they're doing their individual stuff, I take the quarterbacks and do fundamental drills, and the offensive line does the same thing, because the O-line is never on any special team except for field goal and extra point. So whatever they've done there. All right, then we do stretch. Stretch for us is we get everybody in their lines. They all run out, rah, 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 and then we've got a couple of idiots, okay? Number 4 is one of them. Number 4 is a great player, complete, total, fun guy who loves football more than anything in the world, and he's going to do something every day that we don't know what it is. So what our guys do is they run out, rally, rally, clap, clap, all that stuff, and then he'll go ready, and he'll break them down, okay? And then he always says, that shit don't work, that ain't good enough, and then he'll do it again. And we start the day off like that every day. And then some days he'll do it, he'll go, hey, Coach Franklin, break them down. So, you know, some fat-ass old coach has to run out there and do it. He'll go, that shit ain't working, do it again. You know, and the players all get fired up, and they love it. And then we do our stretch, which is basically we go, all right, that's it. Stretch is over with, and we go play, okay? Because we don't believe in stretch, all right? So our emotional leader rallies the trap. Then we do either 2-minute or what we call foreplay. We learned this from TCU. Coach Dykes and I went and watched them practice for the Rose Bowl last year, obviously not knowing we would play them in a bowl game the next year. They were playing in the Rose Bowl, so we go down and watch practice. The great thing was they practice exactly like we do. Bam, 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 bam. Fast reps, fast reps. Number 1 defense in the country 3 years in a row. You know how many cheap shots you saw in practice with them hitting the offensive guys? 0, not 1. They take care of each other. They play hard, fast. They get after each other. Everything's above the waist. And buddy, they know how to practice. So it was great for us to watch that because they practice like we did. But they did one thing that we loved. They started off practice with a big rally deal. So the very moment that stretch was over with, we go ones against ones. And we either do what we call foreplay or we do 2-minute. If we do foreplay, we have 4 plays. And it might be 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. It might be 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. It might be goal line, 4-yard line, goal line, 3-yard line, goal line, 2-yard line, goal line, 1-yard line. We scripted in our meeting, this team meeting that we have. I always ask the defense what they want. I want to give them what they want. It's not really about what I want. So what we usually ended up doing during the week was we would do a 3rd and long day, we would do a 3rd and short day, and we would do a 3rd and medium day. So every play is a win, all right? So, you know, the objective is that whoever won the most, you know, had a big rally session, and it's a great way to start practice off with, okay? So we're running our stuff. We're getting used to down and distance situation. Defense is doing theirs, and somebody thinks they're the winner every time. So we do ones against ones to start the day off with, and then we do a 2s against 2. I know a lot of you guys don't have enough guys to do that. It's competitive, it's situational. There's a winner and a loser. We protect each other by staying above the waist. It's a great tempo way to start practice. Then we go to period 1, okay, after that. Now, at the end of the year, we quit doing foreplay, and every day we did 2-minute, okay? We would do 2-minute drill every single day. So we would go, and Coach Dykes would give us a different scenario every day. I never knew what the scenario was going to be. He made it up, and we would go out on the field, and then we would do it. And again, there's a winner and there's a loser. So a great competitive way to start the day. All right, we go through all of our individual stuff. We would have a 5-minute. We'd have a 5-minute kicking period. Now we just had a circuit, you know. Now we got to fucking kick again, okay? So we kick again, and I go down and do individual drills. All right. So they have a little kicking deal, and we go to do individual drills, and then we go into our script. We immediately go to gun runs, and we go from the 40-yard line going in on gun runs. I used to go 6-yard line going in, but I got to where our guys weren't good enough in space, making people miss. We weren't moving the ball. It was trying to save our legs. Now we go 40-yard line in and we move the ball. We have one of our guys that are spotting the ball. They're moving at 6 or 7 yards, right hash, left hash. We're getting our timing down, our blocking techniques down versus the scouts. We're moving the ball, and we're also practicing substitution. Same thing with the O-line blocking techniques. And then the great thing about this is our twos get as many reps as our ones do. The ones go down the field, they're done. The twos go in, they do the same thing. After that, we do the same thing with the screens. And again, I used to do the screens from the 10-yard line going in or the 6-yard line going in to save their legs. We weren't good in space, so we changed it. We like how we do it now. We move the ball down the field. We substitute just like we would on game day. Exactly the same thing, and we're coaching, but we're coaching on the run. We're sending substitutes in from the sideline just like we would. We do let our offensive line coach on the field during this drill, okay? All right, then we do one-on-ones against our DBs, against wide receivers, and we do usually one day of the week. We only do it during the season one day a week, and we do it to try, our defense needs it. We need press coverage one-on-ones, and we try to make sure that we get some red zone reps. While we're doing that, our offensive line and running backs go down and do inside, and they're physical, but they stay above the waist. And we always have our O-line. If the defense needs a tight end that week, we'll use a tight end. If they need a slot, we'll have a slot down there, a scout team guy that can line up for something that the defense needs. So we try to help them out during that deal. Skelly Pass Pro is that, again, I told you that. We're going to move the football in Skelly. We're going to take it, move it 6 or 7 yards of play all the way down the field. We're going to substitute, and I have a script I'm going to follow all the way down the field, and I have a red zone script when we get into there. We're going to make sure that we're coaching the details, watching the receivers after they score when they catch the ball, is keeping the ball up high and tight on every single play. It's going to be competitive, and they're going to feel like at the end of the day that there was a winner and that there was a loser at the end of Skelly every day. Someday we kick their ass. Someday they kick our ass. The offensive line during that time is going to do one-on-ones. All 5 linemen are going to be lined up. Only one at a time will go. After they've done one-on-ones, they'll sometimes work on twist, okay, and the line stunts that they do. Try to take care of your good players. If you got an offensive lineman banged up, or in our case, we have a 340-pound tackle, defensive tackle, who's about 6 foot tall, who's an incredible athlete, who's a really good player, and he bull rushes every time. He will hurt our center in this drill. So a lot of times we just keep our center out and put the back up in and let him get hurt. All right, then we do blitz pickup. We usually do this from the 10-yard out, and I slow down blitz pickup. I don't do it fast. I do it to where that the defense is lined up exactly how we do it. Our defensive scouts have wristbands. The wristbands tell them where to line up, tell them exactly what to do. Coach Yenzer runs the scout team. He says 17, 17. They go to the wristband. They do number 17 on the band. Tells them exactly the technique to use and the deal. We move the ball from hash to hash, but we don't move the ball down the field on that. Then we do our team period versus our scouts. We've got a script, but a lot of times I put the script in my pants, I put it behind my back, and I just start moving the ball, and I practice being a play caller. Okay? We're going to be in the same formation the entire time. 2x2s on one day, 3x1s, etc., like that until Thursday. We move the ball. We go tempo. We use all parts of the field. We substitute. The defense has to get lined up fast. Coach Yenzer knows that I'm never going to wait on them, so they're very limited with what they do. They've already seen everything they need to do, and we try to eliminate bad plays. Then it's the end of the day. At the end of the day, we're going to have another kicking period. And when they do their final kicking period, we do cover 0, trash can throws. Post-practice, we do little bitty things. We fix what's broken. We have the final reps if a coach needs to do it. Speak what needs to be spoken. Okay? My deal is Coach Dykes does whatever he needs to do, academics, whatever. He does his deal, says, we had a really good day, we had a shitty day, whatever it was. If I feel like I need to say something to the offense separately, I'll gather them up and I'll say it, and it's always quick. It's always under 35 seconds, and they know it. I say it's going to be 33 seconds today. It's going to be 17 seconds today.